No matter whether we want to add just a few stripes to the project or work in a more complicated color pattern, at some point we have to attach the yarn in a new color to the work. The question is, what is the best way to do it? Well, the best way is the one that feels more comfortable to you. In this tutorial, I'll show you 3 ways to add a new color to your knitting. Try them all and choose the one you like best. This way is the easiest because it does not require any special actions we need to take to attach the yarn. We simply start knitting with the new yarn, and here's how it happens. First, work to the spot where you need to change the color. It could be the beginning of a row or it could be in the middle of the row, doesn't really matter. And it could be in the middle of the round if you're working in the round. Then insert the right needle into the next stitch like this, and place the yarn in the new color on that needle, on the tip of the right needle, like this. Simply make a loop and then place it on top of the right needle and leave a tail about 10 centimeters, 4 inches long to weave it in later on. And then finish the stitch. Just pull this wrap through and finish the stitch just like you would normally do. Then drop the tail. Take the working yarn, the one that comes from the ball, and continue working in the pattern. Just like this. The only drawback of this method is the fact that the last stitch worked in the old color and the first stitch worked in the new color. They are not secured in any way. They're just, the yarn is just hanging there, right? And that means that these stitches could easily become really big. This is not really a big deal because later on when you weave in ends, you can easily hide this hole by weaving in ends like this. And I have a swatch here where I changed colors using this way, and then at the end I hid the tail. See, I hid the blue one over here and the yellow one over there, and as you see, it looks perfectly fine. This way solves the issue with the loose stitches, but it requires making a knot. If you don't like to have knots in your knitting, don't worry. The knot we're gonna make here is not a big one. It's not gonna add any bulk to your knitting whatsoever. Here's how it happens. Again, work to the spot where you want to change the colors. It could be the beginning of the row or in the middle of the row, doesn't really matter at all. And then take the color, the yarn in the new color, and simply tie it around the strand of the old color with a simple knot, just like this. And then pull the knot and make sure you leave a tail that is long enough to weave in later on, and move this knot as close to the bottom of the stitch as you can, just like this. And then pull it really tight to make it as small as possible. And then take the yarn in a new color and continue working in the pattern. And as you see right here, this knot is not big at all. It does not add any bulk. You can feel it, that's for sure, but it looks pretty much like any of the pearls over here. This way creates a lovely clean look without any loose stitches or knots. See, there are no knots here and no loose stitches, even though the tails are still hanging and are not hidden. But it does add a bit of bulk to the joint because we're going to use 2 strands of yarn to knit these 2 stitches. But even though I'm using a rather bulky yarn, still this bulk is not really showing that much. Let's see how it works. Work to 1 stitch before the spot where you plan to add a new color. So if I plan to add a new color right here, I will stop here with 1 stitch still between this spot and the needle. And then measure about 5 centimeters 2 inches of working yarn and measure it from the bottom of the last worked stitch. You don't have to really use a ruler or something, just you know, about 5 centimeters. Fold this yarn and make a loop like this. Just simply fold the yarn and hold it. Then insert the new yarn into that loop Then leave a tail that is about 10 centimeters 4 inches, just long enough to weave in later on, and fold that yarn as well, making another loop. So we have 2 interlocking loops right here. Now use 2 strands of the folded old yarn to work the next stitch, just like this. So simply use 2 strands as if it was 1 strand. Then pull the old yarn to make this loop smaller, and to bring this spot where the yarns are interlocking, to bring it to the bottom of the stitch, just like this. Let's make it nice, okay? And then use 2 strands of the new yarn to work the next stitch. Here we go. Then drop the tail and use this new yarn to work in the pattern of your choice. Here we go. So we've got the yarn joined, no knots and no loose stitches. It's still secure. Just in the next row, remember to treat these stitches, the double-stranded stitches, remember to treat them as one. Here they are, 3 ways to add a new color to a project. Let me know in the comments which of these ways is your favorite. Thank you for watching this video and have a wonderful week. I'll see you in the next tutorial.